So, what is the purpose of this bike? This thing eats gas like a fat kid in a donut shop. You can see here, this is everyday morning traffic. Red light, stop and go. Any problems with this? Not in particular. Just like any other bike. A lot of people say that this bike gets really hot. Now look, this is July 2025, in the summer in the southeast. Which pretty hot. I mean, you know, it's almost 80 degrees already in the morning. But, you know, what's the expectation? You're sitting on a 2500cc motor. Of course it's going to get hot. But I'll tell you this, I don't find it any more hot than sitting on a big Indian touring bike, a big Harley touring bike, which I've ridden them all. Red lights in the summer, my big Kawasaki Voyager. I don't find it any warmer. You know, and then again, it's subjective. It comes down to your tolerance, right? So, could that be a factor for you? I'd have to say, get on it, ride it, try it in the summer, red light to red light, see what you think. For me, not a problem. You know, this is just everyday morning rush hour. This is a weekday traffic. And people say, some people, it's too big to maneuver around town. It's only good for going straight on a highway like a locomotive. Well, tells me a couple of things. One, people that said that, they've never ridden it, or they've only ridden it in a straight line and haven't taken it, or haven't had the opportunity to take it on a twisty mountain road. If you're just taking this on a test ride or a demo, you might have that opinion because you haven't had the opportunity to ride this bike as it was engineered. So I'd have to say I strongly disagree with that comment that you only can ride this in a straight line like a locomotive. Does it do that well? Absolutely. 240 rear, long wheelbase. It's made to just barrel down the highway. So of course it's going to do that well. Super easy piece. Whoops, doing 81 in fifth gear. Slow it down. Woo. Now, bike has cruise control, so super simple. Just set it and forget it. Right here with the switch. You could just set this at 75 and do this all day long. So obviously highway riding was never a doubt. Here we are, got off the highway. Yeah, we're just on some country back 2-lane roads, right? So this bike, the GT, we call it the Grand Touring, right? Now, does it have a little bit of a curious connotation with this bike, Grand Touring? Because you think of Grand Touring, you think of the big baggers, right? The Harley Road Glide, the Indian Pursuit, that Kawasaki Voyager I had, huge fairings, uppers and lowers, you know, big saddlebags, trunks, all that stuff. That's probably like a grand touring bike. But if you look at the other lineup bikes, if you look at the other bikes in lineups, let's take the Road King Standard, right? Or the Indian Springfield. People tour on those bikes. I would most likely compare those bikes to the Rocket 3 in terms of stature, look, size, purpose. Do people tour on the Road King in Springfield? All day long. That's why you can, quote, grand tour on this bike. It has plenty of storage with the saddlebags, and it has a luggage rack and a pillion seat that you could throw another bag on if need be. Just like the Road King, just like the Springfield from Indian. So while it doesn't have lowers and it's not a ostentatious touring bike like we're used to seeing with the Road Glide Ultra, things of that nature, this is more than capable of going from New York to Los Angeles without question. Plenty of cargo, plenty of storage, super comfortable even with the stock seat, and I would venture to say only difference you're going to get from this and a Road King or a Springfield, not only, but some of the differences. You slap the bigger windscreen on, solves that problem. Now you have a similar Road King Springfield. But I've ridden the Road King, I've ridden the Springfield. Where this bike does better is, one, way more power, way more. Right? It's got the 240 rear, which those don't, longer wheelbase, which those don't. So, this is more stable on the highway than those, in my opinion. However, it's contradictory because you would think that those would handle better in the twisties, and they don't. This thing, for the wheelbase and the 240 rear, because it was engineered so well, and it's so sporty, this thing will smoke those bikes in the twisties. It just rides so well. So, you know, the fact that Triumph designated this the GT Grand Touring is probably where people get a little confused with the purpose of this bike, because they're so used to thinking Grand Touring, seeing a big fairing, singing uppers, lowers, all that. And they're not wrong. I mean, it's marketing to its finest. It led you to believe that, hey, that's what Grand Touring is. But in the touring category, there is the Road King, the Springfield, and other manufacturers with this aesthetic or style of bike that is used for, quote, grand touring. And let's face it, most of us aren't taking 10-day trips at a time. We're doing weekend trips, overnights, up and back in a day kind of thing. And the purpose of those trips, this bike can handle, not even think about it, easily. So the Rocket 3 purpose is really a do-all. It can do everything you want it to do. The question becomes, does it fit your style? And if you truly are someone who's only interested in gas mileage, fuel consumption, you're probably not even looking at Road Glides, Pursuits, or the Rocket at all for that reason. You're more at the sport touring, maybe the Yamaha FJR 1300, Kawasaki Versys 1100, the sporty touring types where you're going to get the GSA, you're going to get a lot of fuel mileage and you have huge range on those kind of bikes. That's not this bike. If you're somebody that rides 120 to 150 miles, stops, stretch your legs, take a break, get back on, Rocket is perfect. Because the one thing that this does that none of those other bikes can do is this: throttle, torque, roll on. I mean, it's just unmatched. And that's gotta be worth a lot because it's just fun. Now, that will eat your gas, but I've always said, unless you're a commuter, if you're riding a motorcycle for fuel mileage, I don't know. It's not while I'm riding it. I ride it for fun. You see, guys, highway, street, city, suburbia, twisties, long runs, highway, long runs, short and fun, spirited. It really is a do-all bike. So I would say the purpose of this bike is everything. Let's go up to, again, I'm showing you the purpose of this bike. Now here's a little tricky, heavy bike. This is an incline, and I have to cross 2-lane highway. So you got to be good with that clutch and that rear brake here, right? Find that brake in the action. This way. See this steep grade ahead? Now this is where it gets really sketch. Oh boy. Alright. This will be a little bit of an event going up here. Alright, and it's dark. And this is so steep. So steep. And it's got these, look at these turns. Woo! Narrow lane. Yeah, man, look at this. Narrow ain't the word. Man, this is wild. This is so steep. Whoa. Look at this, look at this. Holy crap, that's a hard right and a steep right. Wow. Okay. Man, oh man, oh man. Just first gearing it. Okay. Guess we go this way. Why not another really hard, steep left? Alrighty, folks. Oh man, let's just throw a bunch of gravel in the corner. Holy crap. Whoa! Big gravel. That's gonna be fun coming down. Yeah, this is so steep. Holy cow, and then you're trying to back up. Holy smokes. This is ridiculous. Yeah, so is this. But the rocket's doing it. It's a little nerve-wracking. Holy Hannah, man, that was rough. Coming down, we're gonna do it really slow. this gravel. Man. See, man, all kind of purposes. All right. Oof, gravel. Alrighty. Holy smokes, man. This keeps going up. What does this say? Warning, steep grade. Like we just didn't do a steep grade? Are you kidding me? Oh. Whoa. Holy smokes. Oh. Wow. Whoa. So you can see up here, so we're in the very top of Bell Mountain, and that road was not easy. Look at this view. Look. It's crazy. You can climb up there, and there's the rocket. So this thing, guys, I mean, this engine, the fact that they built a motorcycle around this engine, it's just spectacular. Super capable. Its purpose is grand touring, everyday riding, weekend trips, with the exception of I wouldn't use it as a daily work commuter because of the fuel mileage. But I mean, that rear tire, look at that thing. You just look at it. But the handling that it has, I mean, just absolutely spectacular. This bike is as grand as the view is wide. That was nerve-wracking, that road. That is not easy. Alright, so here, pretty awesome. Alright, now we gotta go down that road, which I'm not feeling too great about. But gotta do what we gotta do, right?
But you have fun going down.
Wasn't fun coming up.
No, I'm sure not.
looking at the Rocket 3 and you're not sure what it is, or you're like, I think I want to like the Rocket, but I don't know what its purpose is, I'm trying to share you. There's the lake. Look at that. I'm trying to share with you what I think the purpose of this bike is. So if you like the Rocket, awesome. If you weren't sure what its purpose is, maybe this video helped you out a little. You can do anything with this Rocket. The only thing I wouldn't recommend it on is daily commuting back and forth to work every day, just because you're going to burn through so much gas. It's just not the most economical choice for that reasoning. If you don't mind stopping for gas every 120, 30, 40 miles, bike's a home run. If you're a mile muncher and you have to get 250 to 300 per tank, well, there's only a select few bikes out there that you're going to choose from anyway. This wouldn't be one. So that's my take on the purpose of the Rocket 3 GT. Love this thing. Think it's awesome. Recommend it highly to anyone interested. So thanks for watching. Don't forget,